So it's an amazing update for all the photographers. We photographers like Lightroom, don't we? So this new feature, the new October 2021 update, has got the most important and the best feature available in an update. That is the new select subject and select sky tool in the masking option. So don't worry about the names and all. I'm going to explain you everything what's important about the new update of Lightroom. So I'm using the Lightroom Classic, and we are gonna see why this update is so much important for all the photographers. So this is the photo I have in front of me, and right away after opening Lightroom, the first thing that you see the change is the bar over here. This is completely new. It has totally got a new look with simplified design. Before the update, it used to have the crop, the spot removal, the red eye correction, and the graduated filter, radial filter, and for new brush option, all such things. But now it has just got 4 options. Don't worry about that, nothing has been removed. All those new things is now under the masking option, and trust me, this tool is the best. You go to masking and you see totally new tools, the select subject feature and select sky feature. We are gonna talk about it in a few moments. So all those brush, linear gradient and radial gradient are the same, so nothing much to talk about it. It just works the same as it was before. And absolutely, in all of my photos I use linear gradient and radial gradient, but the feature I'm going to talk about now, I think I will use it very often from now, which is the select subject. Now if you remember, in 2019 or maybe 2018, I'm not really sure, but most probably in 2019, in Photoshop there was a new feature called the, what was it called? Yeah, it was also called select subject. So before that, Photoshop didn't have that tool or option, whatever you wanna call it. So that select subject was pretty good. You can just with one click with the AI and all, the Photoshop totally selects the subject, and then you can make it as a new layer and then work on it, composite it, whatever you want to do with it. Before that you had to do with a pen tool or other selection tools or something like that. But it is pretty much same, but still not the same. Now don't get confused. It's same as Photoshop, like in one click the subject gets totally selected with the AI and all such things, all those fancy names. But obviously now it's not for compositing, which is favored by Photoshop in Photoshop. It's for editing, for selective parts of the image. Now before this update, what you had to do, if you had to select the subject, maybe you just select the brush and then paint over the brush over the subject, and then you can make changes to the colors, temperature and all such things. But now let me just show you. So what I suggest is, I found with trial and errors and all such things, if the image is very much dark, suppose like here, now the subject is not totally clearly can be separated from the background, it just gets kind of smushed or something. So it's very much tough then for the Lightroom to separate the subject from the background. So to help the Lightroom from our side, what we can do is first just increase the exposure so much that the subject becomes totally prominent and gets separated from the background. Now the total outline of the subject is clearly visible, and I don't think the Lightroom should now have much confusion about what is the subject in the photo. So I have increased the exposure. Now I will, where is it, come, yeah. So now just I'm gonna go here and then click select subject. Now right away you see it has a new panel over here for all the mask that you create, and here it says redefining results and boom, the subject is selected pretty much accurately. Yeah, maybe if you zoom in a little, then you can see the hair. Oh, that's pretty nice. I will not complain much because this is the first version of the select subject in the Lightroom, and it still does an awesome job. Really. So now let me go to fit. Yeah. So with show overlay, you can just see what has been selected in the mask, so that if there's any change, if you see this has been wrongly selected, you can just add or subtract it from the mask. So here we can see this right over here, it's very much, so this should not have been selected, but what we can do is pretty easy. Go to subtract, and then there's the usual brush which we are very much, we know everything about it, so no problems with that. So we will just, we can use the auto mask. So there's a clear line over here, so I guess the auto mask will do a pretty good job. So I will not take much time to be 100% precise, but I hope you will get the thing. Yeah. So now fit, and the same thing can be done here. So let me just take a moment and do it right over here. Maybe 300% is a good one. Okay, so done pretty quickly. Now our subject is selected. So what we can do is, we can just increase the exposure from here. Don't worry, it will not get overexposed. We are going to the global settings, and then we are just going to decrease the exposure. And bam, the background is pretty good. It has much more details than it had before. We can just increase the exposure. Now don't go over the board here. Some beginner may just go for like this, and now the whole photo will look like it has been just, totally different background, and it has just been composited very much in a wrong way. So don't go for like this, or maybe you can go if you just have this taste, whatever. Enough of joking. So maybe this looks good to me. Maybe a little, maybe increase the shadows a little. Yeah, and then just go for the, yeah. See how much difference it makes from the original image. The original image, the subject was obviously very much dull and the background didn't have enough details, but now directly you can see there's much more details in the background. Let me just minimize it. You can see the clouds are totally visible, but in the original image it was just losing a lot of details over here. So it's just amazing, right? This select subject tool comes very much handy in these situations where the background is too much brighter than the subject, so you cannot maintain that dynamic range while capturing. So shooting in RAW, this gives you this flexibility in the post, and with now the new feature, it's just in one click, boom, done. You are now pro photographer. Just joking. So maybe not. So anyway, so this totally looks very much good. Now you can obviously color grade it as you like to and maybe apply your presets and something, but the photo really looks good with this select subject feature, which comes very much handy in this situation. So I'm really loving it in this new update. So now we have a different photo over here. In this photo we are going to test the select sky. I did not test the select sky in that photo because that background was a little bit clumsy with all the clouds and distant blue hills and all, so I didn't think that photo will be good for the select sky option. But nevertheless, this photo is perfect for select sky tool according to me, because it has got clear edge, clear horizon line separating the sky and the ground, so it will be a little bit easier for the Lightroom to detect the sky and all. So let's go to the masking, select sky, and then the same thing, detecting sky, and then there's the same layer panel or maybe mask panel, whatever you wanna call it, and boom, the sky is selected pretty much accurately. So a lot of hard work is just reduced with one click, and obviously with artificial intelligence and all going in the background. So it's pretty much nice. Now what we can do is just decrease the exposure a little bit, or maybe just move the temperature slider, making it more blue or something. That's not my intention. My intention is just to show how it works. You can decrease the highlights and all and do all such things you want to do, but the select sky also works pretty much the same as select subject. Only difference is the name what it suggests, so you shouldn't have any confusion using it. I just think the select subject is the most valuable and most useful tool it will be in my workflow. Yeah, I will also use the select sky. That's also a nice thing. Yeah, nice thing. But select subject specially is definitely going to be my kind of tool which I will use in my everyday workflow, because most of the times we take photos in a lot of contrasty situations where maybe the foreground is too bright, maybe the background is too bright, so it's a lot harder to just make the dynamic range good. So in that case, this select subject tool will be the best option to use in the post. Definitely this masking totally got a new update, and this certainly has to be the best update in the past few years. I'm really loving it till now. It has not been much time using this new feature, but I'm really looking forward to edit a lot of photos using this new tool, new feature. I'm gonna keep you updated, maybe if not on YouTube, on Instagram, if I find any type of loopholes or miscalculations in working with these tools. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram, you should. Yeah, you should. Anyway, so I hope you really liked this video. Press that like button if you got to know something new from this video. Subscribe to my channel if you are interested in this type of content, photography, filmmaking, traveling, and all such things. Yeah, that's about it for today. See you in the next one. Bye bye.